not our place to judge, but this is the internet, so we're going to. Hey guys, it's Andrew and welcome back to my channel. It is time to review some pageants. So before we get into that, I do want to ask for your help on something. So about a month ago, I entered the Chubbies Man Model Search, which is a clothing brand if you're not familiar with it. They make swimsuits, cargo shorts, very cool, fun prints, a lot of cool ads. So if you guys check the link down below, it'll bring you right to the profile voting page, and if you just scroll down, you'll see my picture right front at the left-hand corner. Just hit that little heart, no email required, nothing. Just throw me some love. This is the first round of voting, so I would really like the opportunity to potentially model for them this summer and do some travel, have some cool shoots. So please help your favorite pageant reviewer out. Anyways, but back to what you guys clicked into this video for. We're gonna be reviewing, or I'm gonna be reviewing, the 2019 Miss Teen USA and Miss USA pageants that took place this past week in Reno Tahoe, Nevada. So both pageants were on the same stage. It was a really cool stage actually. It was smaller than they usually have. No long runway, nothing like that. So I'm not gonna dive too deep into Miss Teen USA because frankly, it went very similar to how I imagined it going. So the top 15 for Miss Teen USA were Oklahoma, Kansas, Illinois, Arkansas, Nebraska, Mississippi, South Carolina, Maryland, North Dakota, Alabama, Nevada, Connecticut, Wyoming, and Tennessee. The one difference with Miss Teen USA and Miss USA this year is that Miss Teen USA, the top 15 compete in both the activewear segments and the evening gown segment, without a cut in between. Activewear is very fun, kind of young girl flirty, very bouncy. It's not my favorite. I really haven't liked it since they started doing it in 2016. Evening gown, again, pretty straightforward. You've seen one girl in a dress, you've seen all of them dresses. Nobody's dress really stood out to me. From there we cut it down to the top 5, who were Mississippi, North Dakota, Nevada, Connecticut, and Alabama, and there they went to their final questions. I would say they all did pretty well, and if you watch the pageant, I know there was a little bit of controversy, I don't want to say controversy, but a little bit of uproar for how Alabama answered her question, but you have to remember she's a teenager and she technically didn't say anything offensive. It was definitely geared towards one political party, but there was nothing offensive in it. So after the final question, they got their final look. Then Haley Colburn, Miss Teen USA 2018, took her final walk, and it was time to crown a winner. So the fourth runner-up ended up being Miss Alabama. Then the third runner-up was Mississippi. Second runner-up was Nevada. And the first runner-up was North Dakota. So that means Connecticut is Miss Teen USA 2019. I'm very happy with that result. She was one of the favorites that I picked, and then even one that I said would make the top 3 in my favorites video, so I'm very happy with the choice as Connecticut. And I'm extra happy because I live in Connecticut, so this is the first time since 2013 that we've had a title holder in the Miss Universe organization. Oh, and her name is Kaylee Garris. She's 18, and yeah, congratulations, Kaylee. Let's move on to Miss USA. So Nick and Vanessa Lachey hosted the pageant again this year, with Lou Sierra as the backstage correspondent. They did well. I mean, it's the same as last year. The only thing that annoys me, some people love it, is the cheesy scripted banter between the two of them. I guess they have to do that. They're husband and wife, they're playing on that a lot. So from there we learned the top 15, and these top 15 finalists are based off of the preliminary scoring. So the top 15 for Miss USA were Florida, New Mexico, Arkansas, Ohio, Oklahoma, Iowa, who hurt her shoulder somehow and was in a sling apparently, Minnesota, District of Columbia, Louisiana, North Carolina, Kansas, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Hawaii, and Nevada. So I think this is where the initial uproar took place. If you were following social media or watching the pageant live yesterday, there was a lot of comments being flown around the entire pageant, and I think this is where it started. Some notable delegates that were left out were Texas and New Jersey, who everybody thought would be among the top 2, you know. myself included. So a lot of people were upset, and some people were even getting a little inappropriate as the pageant went on. I do want to say that I was surprised. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I wasn't shocked with how the evening turned out, but I was pleasantly surprised. And I don't like that people are on here in comments or on Instagram and Twitter bashing any of the contestants. I don't think it's cool. I don't want to discredit anybody's success because it's not what I originally thought. So just keep that in mind. There's still people who can read and hear and try to put yourself in their shoes. So anywho, enough about that. We move on to the swimsuit competition, and swimsuit competition is pretty much the same every year. They have a little sarong they get to pull off and walk. This year they got to choose from a line of, I think it's pronounced Sinisa Carroll swimsuits. They were the swimsuit sponsor. From there we learned our top 10, and they are Arkansas, Ohio, Kansas, North Carolina, District of Columbia, New Mexico, Maryland, Florida, Nevada, and Oklahoma. And of course after that we got to learn a little more about the top 10. They had pre-recorded packages where they actually went to the girls' home states to film. I'm not gonna go into it too much. I'm trying to keep this short for you guys. So if that was the evening gown competition, and all the girls wore Sherry Hill this year, I think in the entire pageant, not just our top 10. Well, I love New Mexico's yellow dress. I loved Arkansas in the red dress. So after evening gown, we found out who our top 5 were, and they were Mexico. They were New Mexico, North Carolina, Nevada, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So the top 5 move immediately into the question and answer round, and this year the questions were asked by fellow contestants who were not part of the top 5. So New Mexico was asked about the election and an issue she'd like to address. North Carolina was asked about the Me Too and Time's Up movements and if they've gone too far. Nevada was asked about gun violence and the main contributing factor to that. Oklahoma was asked about incarcerated prisoners and if they should have the right to vote in an election. Arkansas was asked why America was so racially divided even though we're one of the most racially diverse countries. I think overall they all did pretty well. The only one who kind of stumbled was Nevada. She lost her composure for a brief second and stumbled over her words and then kind of brought it back. It didn't make 100% sense, but then again, Arkansas's answer was a little spotty too, with whether it was really answering the question, but they all did very well for the situation. I can't imagine being up there myself. Anyways, on to the top 3. So the top 3 are North Carolina, Oklahoma, and New Mexico, and they moved on to the final word. So in this round, all 3 of them were asked the exact same question, and here were their responses. So the question was, what is one word that you would use to describe your generation and why? North Carolina said innovative, saying that her generation is the first that has a forward-thinking mindset with inclusivity, diversity, and strength to empower women. Oklahoma chose diverse. She said, we're a multicultural nation that gives the opportunity to view from all different lenses. So you can view life through any different lens. And New Mexico said impactful. She's saying having so much at the palm of our hands that we can send out messages to the younger generations. Then she kind of went into social media, which made that make sense. She said she gets DMs a lot from some of her followers, and her following has grown just by having this platform. I understand where she was going. I think if she had more time and chose her words a little more carefully, it would have made a little more sense. And ultimately, I think it did hurt her because compared to the other 2 answers, it didn't really make sense. Or it did, but it wasn't as impactful or meaningful as the other 2. Yeah, use impactful, her actual word. So I think the pageant is always won in the question round. So I think they all did well considering all the factors of the night. So after that, Sarah Rose Summers took her final walk as Miss USA 2018. She looked beautiful. That was a great color on her. it was a good final walk, good for her, and she seemed really excited about the future. So now it's time for the crowning, where Oklahoma was second runner-up, and New Mexico was the first runner-up. So that means Miss USA 2019 is North Carolina Chesley Christ. I think that's how her name is pronounced. I definitely will know by the Miss Universe review video, which you all can catch here on this channel sometime in November, December. But anyways, congratulations, Chesley. You earned it. You answered those questions like nobody else. You have beautiful hair. You had a beautiful light about you, and you more than deserve the title. So I'm very excited to see what you do with your year. But anyways, that's it for this one. If you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment down below of any snubs that you think were left out of the initial 15 group. And remember to hit subscribe. I put out new videos monthly. Usually they're unboxing videos, but like I said, during pageant season, you will see some Miss USA and Miss Teen USA, Miss Universe pageant action. So definitely stick around for those if you are interested in that. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!